Hello and welcome, my name is Ansu. If you're new here, consider subscribing down below. It has been a while since I sat down and filmed. I have done a couple of live shows. If you haven't watched those, definitely check those out. It had been a fun time with just me, myself, and I, but it was a good time indeed. If you're new here, I do post pretty consistently, I think, at least I hope, every week, and I talk mostly about books and sometimes about video games, and that's pretty much it. I do have another channel, which is a dance channel, which I know a lot of you might not be interested in, but I do have something else as well. This is a giant book haul. If you didn't know, September 1st, which is today, is my birthday, and I wanted to do a book haul. I got these books a couple of days ago. Book Outlet, the store, is actually closing down here in Canada, which is kind of sad. They had some incredible box sales. Now everything is done and I'm really upset, but I got a lot of books and I wanted to chat about the ones that I was able to get my hands on, so that's what this video is about. Got a lot of books. I have a problem. I spent nearly $200 in Book Outlet. It was not just on books that were for me personally, but most of them were for me, so I still have a problem. The first few books I actually got were honestly because nostalgia kind of kicked in and I was like, I want to get them, and I've always wanted to have this whole set of books. I ended up getting 4 books of the series, which has 11 books, and that's the Princess Diaries series by Meg Cabot. I forgot which order these were in, but I'm pretty sure this is number 6, which is Princess in Pink. 7 is Princess in Training, and 8 is Princess Party, or Party Princess rather. I got these 3 books, and I also got the final book in that series. I think it was the final one, but it was a royal wedding. If you didn't know, Princess Diaries is the reason why I started reading when I was like 11 years old, and I devoured this entire series so quickly, and I owe it a lot to the series, and I just wanted to own it completely. I just have these 4 books now. It's like $6. I got it for 3, which is such a steal, right? I got these books. I was very excited to actually see them. I wish the entire series was there, but unfortunately wasn't, and I got these ones, which I was equally as excited about. I ended up getting Julia Quinn's Miss Butterworth and the Mad Baron. This is a comic book. And I saw this online and it was pretty expensive, so I didn't really want to spend my money on it. It's like 25 bucks for a comic book, and I didn't really want to spend that much cash on it. But this is supposed to be 10 bucks. I got it for 5, so I was like, it's a steal. I'm gonna get it. I don't really know what it's about, so we're gonna learn about it together once I get to reading it, and I'll talk to you guys about it then. I got 2 books by Elise Bryant. One of them is One True Loves, and the other is Happily Ever Afters. This one follows around 16-year-old Tessa Johnson, and she's rarely seen herself reflected in the pages of the romance novels she loves. The only place she's a true leading lady is in her own writing, and the swoony love stories she shares only with Caroline, her best friend. When Tessa is accepted into the writing program of a prestigious art school, she's excited to finally let her stories shine, but when she goes to her first workshop, the words are gone. Fortunately, Caroline has a solution. Tessa just needs to find some inspiration in a real-life love story of her own, and she's ready with a list of romance novel-inspired steps to a happily ever after. I think it's just going to be a meet-cute kind of a situation, and it's supposed to be very adorable. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in this. It's a romance, so I'm hoping it's very cutesy. Another one, which is this one, One True Loves, follows around Lenore Bennett, who has always been a force. A star artist and style icon at her high school, she's never been too worried about her future. But now that graduation is here, she's a little less sure. Her parents always remind her that the black kids don't have the luxury of figuring it out as they go. They have to be 110% prepared, but it's a lot of pressure to be her ancestors' wildest dreams when Lenore is not even sure what her dreams are yet. When her family embarks on a post-graduation Mediterranean cruise, her friend Tessa is sure Lenore's in for a whirlwind romance. Oh, Tessa. Is it the same Tessa from here? These might be related actually. Let me see if these books are related to each other. So this is book 1 and this is book 2, so I do need to read them like the companion novels they are. Yeah, I think this will be really cute, and I'm very excited to see what the stories offer. The next one I got is A Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwreck by Mackenzie Lee. I have read the first 2 books in the series and I really adored it. I just wanted to get this one. Hopefully I can finish reading it. I remember the first 2 books being quite witty and funny, and it's been a while since I've read it, but I'm still very excited to get to this one. I really don't know what else to say about it. It just follows around 3 different siblings in each story. This one is following the last and the youngest sibling. It really talks about like mental illness or sometimes even their sexuality. In the first book, I think the main character was bisexual. The second one, I think she was asexual. I'm pretty excited to see what this one is about because it's been a while and I don't remember the rest of the stories, to be honest, but I'm still very excited about this one. Next up, I got The House of Always by Jen Lyons. This one is supposed to be the 4th book of a series. I have the 2nd and the 3rd book, The Name of All Things and The Memory of Souls, and I just got the 4th book because it was just there. Do I know anything about the book? Absolutely not. Will I ever read it? Probably. Let's hope I will, because honestly I haven't been reading any fantasy, and you guys know this about me right now, and I just need to get to it. But it's been a minute since I've truly read any fantasies. We'll see how that goes down, because I really don't expect much out of myself, which is really disappointing. I'm not going to read what this one says at all, because this is the 4th book in the series and I haven't even read the first one, so wish me luck. I got Gods and Monsters by Shelby Marin. I have the second book, Blood and Honey. I have not read that yet. I've read the first book, which is Serpent and Dove, and I kind of enjoyed it. I think I give like 3 or 3.5 stars. It was enjoyable enough. But I don't know if it was supposed to be an entire series of books. It didn't really think it needed that, truly. Could have easily stopped at the first one, in my personal opinion. But there's an entire rest of a series. I got the second book as a gift from Sasha, who was very, very lovely and kind to give it to me, because the first book seemed enjoyable enough, and I just want to see how this one is going to go down and if I'll actually enjoy this trilogy. Next up, I got 4 Linwood Barclay books. I didn't even realize this was actually part of the series. I don't know what order these are in, honestly, but they are all in different sizes. This is just really annoying. I ended up getting Far From True by Linwood Barclay. Also got The 23, which is a part of a series. And I got Find You First, which I think is also a part of a series. And I also got Look Both Ways. So these books are by this Canadian author, and he's written a ton of these mystery thriller books. And I've read a couple of them. I've really enjoyed them. So I thought, you know, I'm gonna get these ones, just give it a shot, see how they are and whatnot. And I'm very excited to see what these are gonna be like, because I'm very intrigued. I didn't even realize they were part of the series, and I have a couple of the other books, so now I have the entire series with me and I have no excuse to not read it. So it's gonna happen hopefully very soon. But I got the entire series and an extra that was not part of the series, but still, I got a bunch of books. I was very excited about them. The first box is done with this next book, and that is The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Delilah Harris. This one I actually have seen around on YouTube and stuff. Apparently this was the Good Morning America book club book of some month, I guess. I don't know. 26-year-old editorial assistant Nella Rogers is pretty tired of being the only black girl at Wagner Books. So of course she's excited when Hazel May McCall starts working in the cubicle beside hers. Born and raised in Harlem, Hazel exudes the confidence and charm that Nella has never quite possessed. But they've only just started swapping emails and natural hair care regimens when a string of unsettling events causes Nella to become public enemy #1 and Hazel the office darling. And then the notes start to appear on Nella's desk. Leave Wagner now. Ooh, no. Nella can't believe that Hazel's been leaving the notes despite her crude code switching and competitive wives. The new black girl doesn't seem that hostile, but as Nella begins to spiral, obsess, and ultimately uncover the sinister forces at play, she risks losing much more than her career. The stakes are higher than she could have imagined, far beyond P&L's promotion. It's like a workplace drama situation. I didn't really know what this book was about, but I had heard pretty good things about it, and I'd seen it floating around quite a bit, so I just wanted to give it a shot and see what it was going to be like. It seems pretty interesting. I feel like I would be very into it. I'm kind of into drama. It might take a little for me to get into it. I guess it's because I read the Good Morning America book club thing. You know, the TV show called Morning Show? The drama from there. Essentially, that's what I'm getting. So my first stack is done. This is my first stack of books. Let's move on to the next box. There's still a lot more to cover. The first one is Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi. This one has been on my radar for quite a long time. Mary H.K. Choi has a very good rep from the booktubers that I watch, and I'm very excited to get to her books. On paper, College Dropout Pablo doesn't have a lot going for him. His graveyard shift at a 24-hour deli in Brooklyn is a struggle, plus he's up to his eyeballs in credit card debt. Never mind the state of his student loans. Liana has enough social media followers to populate whole continents. The brand is unstoppable. She graduated from children's stardom to become an international icon, and her adult life is a queasy blur of private planes, hotel rooms, and strangers screaming for her just to notice them. When Liana and Pablo meet at 5 a.m. at the bodega in the dead of winter, it's absurd to think that they'd be a thing. But as they discover who they are, who they want to be, and how to defy the expectations of everyone else, Lee and Pab turn to each other, which of course is when things get properly complicated. I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be a YA romance situation. I feel like it's also going to include some heartbreak with the way that it's kind of worded, because I think Emergency Contact, which is another book this author has written, was also supposed to be very emotional. I just wanted to see what it would be like. Next two books are from the same author. I ended up getting Serena Singh Flips the Script by Sonia Lally, and also A Holly Jolly Diwali by Sonia Lally. This book I've actually seen a lot of. I think during like the holiday season, during Christmas, when I was trying to find books to read, I found this book, which is very holiday-like. I think it's about this 29-year-old data analyst who has been living by the book, who's lived close to her family, etc., etc. And one day she loses her job and she decides to, like, you know, not live by the book all the time, and she ends up going to India where she celebrates Diwali, and I think she ends up meeting someone there and falling in love. That's pretty much it. So that sounds really lovely by itself. And this one I had actually not heard about, but because I saw Holly Jolly Diwali was by the same author, I just wanted to give it a shot. And this one follows around Serena, who is smart, confident, and just got a kick-ass new job at the top advertising firm in Washington, DC. Even before her younger sister got married in a big traditional wedding, Serena knew her own dreams did not include marriage or children. But with her mother constantly encouraging her to be more like her sister, Serena cannot understand why her parents refused to recognize that she and her sister want completely different experiences out of life. Oh, this is gonna be heartbreaking, isn't it? I'm still very excited to see what it's gonna be like, because I think it could be very cute. Okay. This book I have had my eyes on for a very long time, and it's The Infinity Courts by Akemi Dawn Bowman. Do I know what this is about? Of course I don't. Let's see. Nami is certain her life is just beginning. She has a great family, just graduated high school, and is on her way to a party where her entire class is waiting for her, including, most importantly, the boy she's been in love with for years. The only problem? She's murdered before she gets there. Oh, okay. When Nami wakes up, she learns she's in a place called Infinity, where human consciousness goes when physical bodies die. She quickly discovers that Ophelia, a virtual assistant widely used by humans on Earth, has taken over the afterlife and is now posing as a queen, forcing humans into servitude the way she'd been forced to serve in the real world. Even worse, Ophelia is inching closer and closer to accomplishing her grand plans of eradicating human existence once and for all. So Nami is going to be stopping her, I guess, and look at that. That's beautiful. So that sounds very interesting. I've seen this cover so much and I've been obsessed with it. I'm fairly certain that it is a YA. And also, Tracy Dion, one of my favorite authors, wrote Legendborn, has a blurb on the back, which is very exciting. And yeah, I'm just very, very thrilled to get to this one. The next two books I kind of accidentally got because I thought it was something else. And I don't know what I was thinking about, but it was definitely not it. Once I got home, I realized that I was like, huh, this is not what I was expecting, but I still got it. And the first one is The Brides of Maricora by Gregory Maguire. I saw this green woman on the cover and I thought of something else. I can't pinpoint what it was, but I thought of a different book entirely, and I've heard good things about that one, and that's why I got this. I really don't know what this one is about, and when I was actually like looking at the GoodReads reviews, it seemed mediocre. Like, not a lot of people that I like look forward to seeing from really enjoyed it, and it's like at best a 3-star read, and I was like, oh no. But it might be a surprise to me, so we'll see how this one goes. I'm not too sure what to expect. It's just a fantasy, and I guess we'll see what happens in that. The next one I got is To Tell You the Truth by Gilly Macmillan. Guess who I thought this author was? Gillian McAllister, that's right. This is definitely not the same author. Another new thriller author that I might enjoy, and I could get to a point where I don't get confused by both these authors' names, and I could just enjoy the content that they put out. That's probably great, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing what this one is, because I definitely did not think I was getting this one. I also got another mystery, which is A Line to Kill by Anthony Horowitz, and I did enjoy the book that I read. I think it was Magpie Murders, and it was interesting. It was really weirdly messed up, but I enjoyed reading that book. And this one is the third book of this series. Really, I think the author is a sidekick. He has this weird quirky way of writing, like the author himself is also a detective, or rather the author is inside the book writing about a detective, and it's interesting. It's a weird concept, but I actually kind of enjoyed it the last time I read it in like Magpie Murders, which is a similar vibe, and I'm really looking forward to seeing like how Anthony Horowitz is going to put his book forward in this particular series as well, because it was really interesting. I enjoyed that. Next up I got The Sweetest Remedy by Jane Igaharo. This one follows around Hannah Bailey, has never known her father, the Nigerian entrepreneur who had a brief relationship with her white mother. Because of this, Hannah has always felt uncertain about part of her identity. When her father dies, she's invited to Nigeria for the funeral. Though she wants to hate the man who abandoned her, she's curious about who he was and where he was from. Searching for answers, Hannah boards on a plane to Lagos, Nigeria. In Banana Island, one of Nigeria's most affluent areas, Hannah meets her late father's prestigious family, some who accept her and some who think she doesn't belong. The days leading up to the funeral are chaotic, but Hannah is soon shaped by secrets that unfold a culture she never thought she would understand or appreciate, and a man who steals her heart and helps her to see herself in a new light. Which sounds adorable, doesn't it? I think this is going to be very cute and just like a finding of herself kind of a situation. And I'm really excited to see what this one is about. I've seen this book floating around. I think this one and another one similar similar looking to this. I think it was by the same author I've seen a lot of, so I'm excited to see how this is going to be very cutesy. The next one I got, The Unlikely Adventures of the Shergill Sisters by Bali Kaur Jaswal. This is the same author who wrote erotic stories for Punjabi widows. Honestly, I saw this and I was like, oh, it's the same author, and I just grabbed it. And I've heard really wonderful things about the other book. I feel like this one is not going to disappoint. I don't know if it's supposed to be just fiction or romance, but I'm nonetheless very excited to see how this one is going to go down because I haven't read the other book and a lot of people have said really lovely things about that one. And I don't know if it's a series, honestly. I'm really curious to see what this is like, and yeah, I'm just very excited. I'm so pumped for these guys. Oh god. Do not topple over. I do not have strength, okay? So I got the Cartographers by Hang Shepherd. Got the large print edition, so the font is fucking huge. But it's great because it's good for my eyes. I can see it from really afar and that's really nice. But I also like accidentally bent this when it was put in the box. Nell, the main character, is like really into cartography, and her father's always been like her mentor. There was like an argument that occurred between her father and herself about this really old gas station map, and they had a really bad falling out, right? They stopped talking to each other, but one day this man ends up dying, and so she goes to see her father's remains, I guess. I don't know. She goes to his office at New York and she finds that his body was like next to this map that they were fighting about. For some reason, this is supposed to be like a very unique antique map, and someone's been trying to destroy these maps, and she wants to know like what's the story behind it, and that's that. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a magical situation or anything. Like, I really don't know anything about this book, but I've seen the book cover a lot and I just wanted to see if I would enjoy it. And yeah, like I said, it was like 50% off, so I got it for like $6, so I'm not complaining, okay? I also got Portrait of a Scotsman by Evie Dunmore. This is the third book in the series. I haven't read the first two. I think I started the first one. It was kind of interesting, but I just never got around to finishing it. It is a historical romance, if I'm not wrong, and it has like a nice premise and everything. It's supposed to be like very investigative, but it has romance in its situation. I think I would really enjoy it. I just haven't gotten around to reading any of these books. I think it's time. It might happen very soon, she says about all of these books. We'll see. Like, honestly, I'll give it my best shot and see if I can actually finish it. But I've really enjoyed the little bit of the book that I had read, the first book that I had read, and I'm hoping that I can get to this third book fairly soon. Next one I got was The Younger Wife by Sally Hepworth. I know this is supposed to be like a mystery thriller sort of situation. I've read like one other book by this author. Husband, a heart surgeon at the top of his field, Stephen, is getting married again, but first he must divorce his current wife even though she can no longer speak for herself. The daughters, Tully and Rachel Aston, look upon their father's fiancée, Heather, as nothing but an interloper. Heather is younger than both of them. And the former wife, with their mother, is a precarious position. Tully and Rachel are determined to get to the truth about their family secrets, the new wife closing in, and who their father really is. The younger wife, Heather, has secrets of her own, will getting to the truth unleash the most dangerous impulses in all of them. I've read The Good Sister by this author and I really enjoyed that book so much. It was really fucked up and I loved it. I think it's going to be very similar to that, and I hope it is because it really messed with my head and I loved it for it. So that's the book that I got. I was very excited about getting that one. And the final book I got was a memoir, which is Unfinished by Priyanka Chopra Jonas. She's a Bollywood actress that I had grown up watching quite a bit from, and now obviously she's married to Nick Jonas, who is a very popular pop star, and she's also acting in Hollywood movies nowadays. I don't know, she's doing a lot of crap. She's very talented. She also wrote a memoir, and I found this and I was just like, why not? I'm gonna give it a shot. I've been into memoirs a little lately. I think I've read like 4 or 5 memoirs. Not a lot, but I've enjoyed reading every single one of them. Almost. If you haven't watched one of my recent live shows, you wouldn't know what I was talking about, but the Matthew Perry book was fucked up. Anyway, this one, I'm curious to see like what her life was like. I'm pretty sure her father passed away when she was pretty young. I love this little tattoo she has. It says Daddy's Little Girl, and it's so sweet. 28 books. And counting. I'm going to do another video of just getting all those children's books out of the way, just talking to you guys about that, but there's a lot more, and I feel like I can't fit it in one video. This is already too long. I think I have 40 plus minutes of footage. I'm just cutting that short to hopefully post it today. It's just going to be ridiculous. I'm going to try my best though. So that's that. Should I take a picture with these or just like try to cuddle with it? I think I'm going to cuddle with it because like your girl is not that strong, okay? Peace.